Hey everybody, Ann here. And my boy Papa, he just ate a piece of egg frittata that had lots of wonderful stuff in it. Anyhow, I'm sitting here finishing up my coffee. I got a fire going and I am baking some cinnamon apple spicy whatever muffins with crumble top. There they are before I put them in my Coleman camp oven that I put over my wood-burning stove, and there they are after. They were very delicious. Didn't get the topping just exactly right, but it's okay. They were still absolutely scrumptious. It's Sunday, so I'm not going to do any heavy-duty work today, but I wanted to show you a few more things. See that beautiful oil lamp? I wanted a glass or a crystal one for the longest time, and I'd been looking around at local thrift stores and antique stores, and I just couldn't find one that was in my price range. So there was this one store that I went to, and I asked the lady, do you have any glass or crystal oil lamps that are actually functional? And she says, oh, well, we've got some up there, but you don't want any of those, honey. They're too expensive. And I'm like, what? I went in dressed in camo and my hair pulled back and a ball cap and stuff. So she must have been making some assumptions about me. Well, recently I was able to go into that store and find this. This is absolutely beautiful. And I knew that I wanted it right away. I thought it was at a fair price, and I didn't even ask to, have them come down and price it all. But I went back to that store and I bought that oil lamp. And the lady that was there, that was kind of condescending, like, "Oh, you can't afford this. You're too poor." She wasn't there, but it doesn't matter. All I know is that this is absolutely beautiful. It is lovely when it's lit at night and it glows, and I love the little copper little top thing on it, and it's very stable, it's very sturdy. It is exactly what I wanted. So yeah, I got me a beautiful oil lamp. I went to the dollar store and look what I found. Red and black buffalo check, the little container thingies. Yes, 4 of them fit perfectly, just like in my bathroom area. But I wanted the red and black buffalo check. Look at that. Doesn't that look beautiful? That's that wall right there. And yeah, there's my beautiful oil lamp, so I'm happy. Also from the dollar store, I got a whole bunch of these. You know what they are? They're satin pillowcases. And I didn't really need this many satin pillowcases. But I like the color, the red, the gray, the white. So you know what I'm going to do? I am going to make curtains out of them. I'm going to replace the little previous kind of chopped up, very dirty and gross looking old curtains over the pantry and over the sink and that area over there. So I just need to make a few minor adjustments to it. And then when it's all done, I will show it to you. Found me a whole bunch of honey mushrooms, and there's quite a few down in the bag that I didn't take out. I just wanted to take out a few to show them to you. But they kind of looked a little different than the ones I'm used to. So I did a spore print. See that there? You just put the mushroom on something, and it has a white spore print. So there's nothing else that has all of these features that are poisonous. So these are honey mushrooms, and I think I'm going to dehydrate them today. There we go. I just made me a little foil tray, and I poked holes in the bottom of it and kind of broke some of them up because some of these mushrooms are pretty big. And I'll just let them dehydrate with the door open. It should get to about 100 degrees in there. And I imagine it will take, I don't know, I think it's just going to take a few hours. Okay, this one was just kind of done hastily. I just wanted to put it up and see if I liked the way that it looked just hanging here. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because it's messy in here. And guess what? I don't like it. Yep, I don't like it, so I'm taking it down, and I wasted basically $8. Not a complete loss. Yeah, Papa loves snuggling on his silky pillows, so I put him up there. It looks kind of Christmassy. I kind of like it. I may change it after Christmas, but for right now, I kind of dig it. See what I mean? He loves it over there. Would you look at these 2 green pepper plants? I had almost pulled them out of their little buckets because they lost all their leaves. They lost every single last one of their leaves, but they're coming back. They're trying to grow back. I don't know how long these are going to last because, well, we've had 2 freezes already, below freezing temperatures, and they are growing leaves back. I don't know. It's going to get down into like the low 20s here for about the next week. So I don't think these are going to make it. Whew, I just came in from being outside and it is cold outside, 36 degrees. And I just gave the chickens their lunchtime snack, the black soldier fly larva grub worms that Miss Mary sent me, and they love them all. And gosh, they are nice. I had black soldier fly grub worms before that have a lot of powder. This doesn't. They are just very whole, very intact, so they're wonderful. Anyhow, I was going to do a walk around and talk to you about what happened to the one baby chick. But it's too cold outside, so I'm going to sit in here and you can look at Papa while I'm telling you. Okay, last week, about the same time that I hurt my shoulder, the little baby chicks, the littlest ones that were still in the grow out pen that, I took the leghorns out and put them with the other leghorns. Well, there were 4 left in there in that little coop. And so I went to put all the chickens up at night and I wasn't feeling good. My shoulder was hurting. And so everybody was accounted for except for one of the baby chicks. And I looked everywhere for it. I looked under the van. I looked under, and I had a flashlight underneath the coop. And I just couldn't find it. And it wasn't in the coop roosting with the rest of them. And I figured, well, it just probably got out. It was the same day that neighbor dude came over and built my goat shed. But I didn't even see any chickens like out free anywhere. So it was late and it was getting really dark. And I figured it probably, a hawk got it during the day and we just didn't see it. Well, so I closed the coops up and went inside and I eventually got to bed. And about 12:30 in the morning, I heard the most horrible chicken sounds, screaming, distress. 12:30 in the morning, I shot up and I heard it because I had my windows open because it was still, it wasn't getting down below like 60 degrees overnight. So I had my windows open. I could hear it. And I rushed out. I had to get out, put my glasses on, find my phone, turn the flashlight on, put my boots on, get out, unbungee the gate, try and get in there. And this whole time that I'm doing it, I'm screaming, no, stop. I didn't even know what it was that was in there doing something to this chicken, 12-week-old chicken. And so I got into the yard and whatever it was gone. The chicken was no longer making sounds. I shone the flashlight all over the place. I couldn't find it. I just couldn't find it. And I couldn't find the predator. So I figured maybe it was one of the other chickens. So I went around 12:30 in the morning, did a head count of every coop and every other chicken was accounted for. So I just thought, you know what? I just need to go back inside and try and get back to sleep. Well, I couldn't get back to sleep. My heart was beating out of my chest. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I was short of breath. It took me hours to calm down. And I really didn't calm down about the whole thing. Well, let me just tell you the rest. So the next morning I went out and in the middle of the main yard, in between the van coop and the grow out pen coop, was a pile of feathers. And I recognized those feathers. And so I looked around and I couldn't see anything. I could not see anything. I couldn't find the rest of the chicken. I looked and looked and looked and couldn't find it. Well, later on the day, about lunchtime, I went out and apparently the chickens had been scratching around and they scratched out one leg that belonged to this chicken. It was completely eaten down to the bone, completely severed from the carcass. And so I got rid of it. And I figured, well, it must have pulled it under the van and I just couldn't see it. A little bit later on in the day, the chickens pulled out the rest. And, the rest of what was left. Its little head was still there. And there was the other leg that I couldn't find. And It was completely devoured. And so I got rid of it. I got rid of the carcass, and that's what happened. So something got in to the yard and got that little defenseless chicken that was all by itself, just because I was too tired and I was hurting and I didn't look thoroughly enough. I should have crawled up underneath of that van. There's no way that chicken could have gotten out. I should have looked under the coop, the grow-out pen, but I didn't. And so this chicken, 12-week-old chicken, lost its life because of me, basically. So, well, I was very depressed. But then my son called me and gave me some good news about my granddaughter. And that just made my heart swell. So that's how I was able to kind of move beyond it. So I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I made a mistake. If something like this happens again, I need to act differently. And it was an absolutely horrifying experience for me, hearing the sounds that chicken made and knowing that there was a predator in there. Now, I'm under no illusion. I know those chicken yards aren't predator proof, but the coops are. If I had just gotten that chicken into the coop, it would have been fine. I'm sure there's predators in and out of those yards all the time. Well, probably not the rooster coop. I'm changing hands here. Probably not the rooster coop and probably not the leghorn coop. But the others, they can get in. So, I figure it was probably a possum, because they're very fast, and then they can hold very, very still and be very quiet. So I probably went out there. It probably ran off. It was probably underneath the van while I was out there. Anyhow, I need to stop talking about this and ruminating, and because it just is depressing. So I'm not going to talk about this again. You don't even have to mention it down in the comments, because I'm just not going to even talk about it anymore. I need to keep my chin up. I need to keep going. And that's what I'm going to do. Anyhow, sorry I got long-winded there. So, well, that's all I got for you guys today. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, and y'all have a good one.